Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I have even more dupes for really expensive skincare products. So last month I did a video with dupes for expensive products and you all really enjoyed that so much. So I'm coming to you with round two, and I didn't mean for this to happen, but this actually ended up being like the Sephora brands versus the drugstore brands. So if you're so excited to learn about some really great and affordable skincare alternatives to much more expensive products, because like who does not need to save money these days? We all do. If you're so ready, give the video a big thumbs up, hit subscribe if you haven't already, come join our skincare community, play my intro, and let's jump into the dupes. Let's talk about the Skinfix Barrier Plus Triple Lipid Peptide Cream. So this retails $54 for about 50 milliliter of moisturizer. And this is a pretty nice barrier strengthening moisturizer in my personal opinion. So the key ingredients here include a 3% triple lipid complex. So they're using a different mixture of a couple different forms of ceramides, a couple forms of sterols and fatty acids. And these are all important crucial lipids that will help to restore your skin barrier, especially if it's weak or damaged or just needs to stay strong in the face of aggressive actives like say tretinoin and retinoids or even just cold weather. They're also using a 3% peptide solution, and this is one where I kind of like side eye the name and the marketing of this particular product. They're using a peptide that is derived from rice bran, and this peptide actually is good for helping to strengthen up the skin barrier, help your skin to retain moisture. The only issue, like I said, a little side eye here, is just the use of the word peptide itself. It's not really like very recognizable peptides in here. And I say this all the time when I talk about peptides, but I think it's always worth repeating. Marketing wise, they are really, cashing in on the fact that just the word peptides usually infers anti-aging benefits for a lot of folks, right? Peptides themselves don't all do the same thing. They're a huge class of ingredient and they have various different benefits, right? Like this one is all about your skin barrier and retaining moisture, not necessarily about stimulating collagen or addressing fine lines and wrinkles, but just the word peptide itself tends to make us think those types of benefits. So just a bit of a side eye that I have with the name of the particular product with the peptides, because it really is focused on the barrier, and that is a good thing. Don't get me wrong, right? And that actually can be helpful in an anti-aging journey. But oftentimes people, especially when we're paying higher prices, are thinking that we're getting those anti-aging benefits here. And, really we're just getting the barrier strengthening. Now they're also using an 8% humectant blend with hyaluronic acid. We've got glycerin and actually some red algae in here as well. And this is all about holding the hydration in place. So what's nice about this moisturizer is it does come in this airless pump package and it is refillable. So there is some value here, in the product itself. It's still, even the refills are still very expensive. You're not saving too much money by refilling this particular jar, but it just, save you a little bit in the long run. But it does have this really gorgeous, silky, luxurious texture. Like I said, there are a lot of barrier creams on the market. I think a lot of the folks who enjoy this moisturizer really enjoy it for the texture and the quality that it brings to the skin, in addition to the benefits that we're getting with the formula and the ingredients, right? Because it is a very silky, very luxurious, very elegant type of cream. It sinks into the skin really gorgeously. It is rich. It is skin softening, skin conditioning. Any rough patches that you have will feel not only smoothed over, but also like comforted and nourished. And it definitely has like a calming factor to it with the amount of moisture that it brings. But it packs a lot of moisture in a non-greasy format and in a non-heavy format. This moisturizer doesn't have a ton of occlusivity either. So if you're somebody who does not like moisturizers that feel like they're sealing off your skin, suffocating it, making it feel like it can't breathe, if that type of quality, this moisturizer doesn't really have that. And that's kind of where my love-hate comes in, because I think it makes this cream a little bit more on the unique side for the amount of moisture and barrier support that it brings without that seal it off kind of quality. But also if you're suffering with severe dehydration, you do need actually a little bit of nice balanced occlusivity. Like you don't want to seal your skin off, right? But you do want to create a little bit of that temporary barrier on your skin to stop the dehydration process, to slow that down and keep your skin more comfortable throughout the long day, right? And so occlusive agents and formulas help us to solve that. So if you're going through a lot of dehydration, this may not be the very best choice, because I really feel like that quality is so important in a moisturizer when you're suffering with a lot of dehydration. And this one just doesn't really have that. But if you're looking to save some cash, I've got an affordable alternative for you. It is the Versed Rich Barrier Cream. This costs about $20 and you get 43 milliliter of product. So this isn't a one-for-one dupe or duplicate of the ingredients of Skinfix, but it is a lot more simpler formula. The approach here is fairly similar though. They are using a 7-lipid complex that relies on ceramide NP as well as 5% of squalane. So squalane is a skin identical oil. It actually mimics human sebum, and so this is actually a great lipid to use because it tends to be tolerated pretty well by most folks. It's a much lighter oil. It doesn't have like a really heavy, like pore clogging quality to it, but because it mimics human sebum, it actually is a really great lipid to help with barrier function, because your barrier is just made up of a ton of lipids, and when it's weak or damaged, there's actually like little gaps in that lipid layer in your skin that's allowing the hydration to escape through your skin. That's why you get that dry and tight feeling in your skin. Even if you're oily on top, that dry and tight feeling deep within your skin, like that thirsty feeling, that's dehydration. And so lipids actually kind of help to go in and help to restore that lipid layer or that barrier within the skin to close up those gaps so that the hydration is not escaping through the skin so quickly. They're also using niacinamide, which, traditionally is used as a brightening ingredient, but it does actually help your skin barrier as well, because it helps to stimulate your skin's natural synthesis of ceramides, cholesterol, fatty acids. Those are the key essential lipids that make up your skin barrier. So this actually helps to aid our body's natural process of restoring and regenerating our own skin's lipid layer. But of course, a little bit of brightening as well. And then they're also using adenosine. Now, this is a really great ingredient to help soothe the skin. It's anti-inflammatory, and it's great if your skin is feeling sensitive, itchy. This has a nice calming quality to it. So we have a similar packaging concept here as well, with that airless push down pump for the moisturizer. And you can see that the texture is fairly similar. We're dealing with these nourishing creams that have a lighter weight to them. This spreads really beautifully. It's really silky when you spread it across the skin. The key difference here that you're going to notice between Skinfix and Versed is Versed actually feels a little bit more hydrating on application. You feel a little bit more of that humectant content in this cream. It feels a little bit more cooling, refreshing, watery, even hydrating for the skin, which is actually an amazing thing to feel when your skin is dehydrated. But then there is that good hit of moisturization here, but it's light. We've got a richness, but it's not a heaviness. It's not dense. It's not weighing your skin down and feeling like it's clogging your pores, right? Or like this greasy layer sitting on top. Now, the slight difference here between the two moisturizers is the Versed has a real beautiful kiss, just a light amount of occlusivity. Now, as I was saying, these are the types of qualities in moisturizers that help hold hydration in place. Oftentimes when your skin feels dry or dehydrated and you feel like a moisturizer isn't enough, sometimes it's not down to the thickness of the moisturizer, sometimes it's down to the occlusivity of the moisturizer. And so while both of these moisturizers offer the same, I personally feel the same amount of emolliency, the same amount of rich yet lightweight nourishment for the skin, very moisturizing. The Versed actually feels like it sticks with my skin just a little bit longer, just due to that occlusivity. Now, price-wise, you're still saving quite a bit of money. Versed gives you just a little less product, 43 milliliters versus the 50 of Skinfix. But quite honestly, you're saving so much cash that it's such a small difference. When I was testing it out, it actually reminded me of another Versed moisturizer, the Skin Soak Moisture Cream, which I talked about going on 3 years ago now as an affordable alternative to another expensive product. So I want to bring this pair of expensive and less expensive moisturizers back into the mix here in 2025. So let's talk Tatcha Dewy Cream. This retails $72 for 50 milliliter of product, and I just want to note it went up $2 since the last time I talked about it. So this moisturizer is interesting because it is absolutely gorgeous. Like everybody would want packaging like this on their vanity to display. Like it definitely delivers an experience for sure. And you know, this is a moisturizer that I think is interesting because it really does kind of market itself on the ingredients, the antioxidant blend, the rice extract that's contained in it. And that's all very nice, but I also find that it's just not very compelling to me. It's not very appealing to me at that price point for a moisturizer. So they're using Saccharomyces rice ferment and rice extract. Now, these are rice extracts that are coming from Japanese purple rice. And we know that rice is an amazing antioxidant for the skin. Not only that, but it's actually really beautifully skin conditioning. It moisturizes the skin, softens the skin, but it doesn't bring a lot of heavy weight to the skin. They're also using a couple of antioxidant rich extracts like ginseng and green tea. We've got a humectant blend here with sodium hyaluronic, glycerin, and then we've also got some red algae extract in here as well, really help to rehydrate and replenish the skin. And sensitive skin beware, we do have some denatured alcohol in here as well as some fragrance, and then we've got 3 fragrant compounds that are listed in addition to the fragrance here: citral, limonene, and linalool, which definitely have some potential, you know, issues with sensitive skin irritation and all of that. But I think really where this moisturizer has gained so much popularity and such a cult following, I think all of those other things do play into it. But for me, I was impressed by this beautiful texture. I think that's what really makes this something a lot of folks like to purchase, because it feels so good on their skin. It's so luxurious. It's definitely a textural experience. It's almost light and fluffy and marshmallow-like in the best way possible. So it's silky, it's rich, it's really moisturizing, but you know, kind of like Skinfix, although I would put this in a much lighter category than the Skinfix moisturizer. It has that like ability to pack a punch moisturize-wise without a weight to it, without a greasiness to it. I think a lot of folks like this because it is so silky. It really softens your skin. It's fun, it's fluffy, it's elegant, right? But it's not heavy, it's not greasy, it doesn't weigh your skin down. And as I mentioned, there are some really light occlusive agents in here that create that little film forming quality to it that actually helps to fight dehydration. But it's very light and it doesn't seal your skin off or make it feel like it can't breathe. Everything about this cream is light, it's fluffy, right? But it does pack some really nice silky moisture into it as well. But you know, $72 is a lot of money. Not super impressive in the ingredients. Not bad. I'm going to say not bad, but not super impressive, especially if you're well versed in K-beauty and J-beauty products. You can get these ingredients at a fraction of the cost, right? And the texture is lovely, but it's not the only moisturizer out there that can serve you this type of experience. And I will point out that my affordable pick does not contain any drying forms of alcohol or fragrance. It is the Skin Soak Moisture Cream. Now this comes in at $15 for 43 milliliter product. And I want to point out this one is interesting. It's $15 now. The last time I talked about this moisturizer, like I said, about close to 3 years ago now, it was actually $18. So the price went down, where the Tatcha price went up a couple of dollars, Verse actually went down a few dollars. So while we don't have the exact same extracts being used in this moisturizer, Verse definitely focuses in on very simple, very straightforward formulas. There are some key similarities here that help to create textures that are very similar. So we do have glycerin, sodium hyaluronate, squalane, and then they're actually using a different extract of red algae, as we noticed in the Tatcha cream, red algae extract there. Not only is that hydrating, right, but it is also something that brings antioxidant content. I find this texture from Versed so similar to Tatcha for a fraction of the price. We've got that light, fluffy quality, almost marshmallowy like feel to it. It's, I will admit, not quite as luxurious, not quite as elegant, but it's so darn similar. You do get that nice feeling of hydration from this moisturizer, and then that really beautiful skin conditioning, skin softening, like, I love touching my skin. It feels so soft and nourished and conditioned on top, but it's not weighed down. It's not greasy. It doesn't feel sealed off. And the occlusivity level here is pretty neck and neck. It's pretty similar. And honestly, both of these are very lightly occlusive. So if you have ever felt like your moisturizer was too heavy or sealing your skin off, it isn't even in the realm of that, in my opinion. But it's just that kiss that helps to fight the dehydration. It helps your moisturizer work well for you throughout the day, in my personal opinion. My footage that I'm showing you here of the texture, it does include the older packaging, which is this kind of like salmon pink packaging. They have since upgraded to some lighter green packaging. The formula that we're talking about, though, is still the same. So I have to talk about the Dr. Idriss Major Fade Flash Mask, because this is actually a product that I absolutely adore. It's been a part of my core skincare routine for going on 2 years now. And it's actually one that I am starting to kind of side eye in my routine. Like, can I find something a little bit more affordable? It does retail about $48 for 50 milliliter of product. Now, this is a really potent glycolic acid based chemical exfoliating wash off mask. So they're using 15% of glycolic acid. Now, glycolic acid is really the most potent, the fastest acting AHA out there, and it helps to exfoliate the top surface of your skin. That helps to address texture, roughness, dry patches. It can be really helpful for brightening up the skin, helping to address, over a long consistent use can address hyperpigmentation, dark marks, unevenness, dullness in the skin. And it really helps to just kind of like resurface and rejuvenate and refresh the skin. So 15% is no joke. That's actually quite a bit of glycolic acid. They are also using 3% of lactic acid. Now, this is another AHA, so it works in the same kind of exfoliating way as glycolic acid. It's just a little gentler. It's actually a bigger molecule, penetrates into the skin a little slower, and so that actually makes it a little less aggressive for the skin. So you get a little bit more AHA benefits, but not like just blasting your skin like full on glycolic acid. And they've also included some tranexamic acid in here for that brightening benefits. And that's really where this mask is focused on. And the Major Fade line from Dr. Idriss is really about addressing sun damage, melasma, uneven skin tone, hyperpigmentation. It's all about brightening up the skin. But really at its core, this is a 15% glycolic acid AHA treatment. I put this on. It's a really nice thin gel. I put this on for about 10 minutes and then wash it off. I have very sensitive skin. I don't always tolerate glycolic acid very well, but I do really well with this mask like once a week. And so I really like it. My skin looks so good right after I wash it off, feels so smooth. My makeup goes on smoother, but it has helped me over time to address the pigmentation issues that I have on my skin, particularly hyperpigmentation that I get from acne and from inflammatory events on my skin. And this really helps to heal them up faster. But I'm also just noticing that it's just giving my skin a much more refreshed quality to it and a smoother texture to it as I've used this now, like I said, for about two years now. I think I'm about a month shy or so of 2 years. And so I really love it. I think it's great, but I just think it is very, very expensive. And recently this summer, I started testing out some products from Prequel, and I started using the multi-acid milk peel AHA exfoliating solution. I wasn't necessarily looking for a dupe from Dr. Idriss, but I actually stumbled on one. So the milk peel from Prequel costs $23, and you actually get 226 milliliter of product for that price. Like, mind is blown. So this is another AHA based product that uses 15% of glycolic acid. Now, they are also kind of like bulking out that glycolic acid percentage with some other AHA forms, including mandelic and lactic acid, phytic and malic acid. So we've got some more AHA content in here, just like, Dr. Idriss. A little different, but just like Dr. Idriss. One thing that makes this one a little bit different in the formula too, and I think like just kind of the point of view of this particular product from Prequel, is the enzymes that they're using here, the lipase and the protease. So these are enzymes that actually help to break down like the glue that holds the skin cells in place, like the dead skin cells. And so this is actually something that aids the chemical exfoliation process of the AHA mix here in the formula. So it's not blasting your skin with even more, you know, AHAs or even BHAs or anything like that. But these enzymes just help to loosen up the things that hold on to the dead skin cells, because that's what the AHA is doing. It's exfoliating the dead skin cells off of your skin, and they are kind of stuck and in place and being held down by the glue, right? It's the oil and the sebum and the keratin in the sebum's all sticky and all of that, right? And so the enzymes help to loosen that up, to break that down, and then the glycolic acid and all the different forms of AHAs go in and they go whoosh and exfoliate and slough it off of your skin. So it's a really interesting combination here that really is about the dead skin cell buildup on the skin. Where remember, Dr. Idriss is going to do that, but it's also focused on the brightening aspect, right? The tranexamic acid and all of that. This one is actually a little bit more geared towards dead skin cell buildup. So think texture, congestion, little bumps under the skin, right? If you're acne prone, if you are acne prone and you're not as concerned about brightening, but you're more concerned about using an AHA to, like I said, address texture, bumps, and even blackheads and things like that, this would actually be the better formula for you. I personally really like about this one is it is not a wash off mask. It's more like a treatment toner, if you will, an exfoliating toner or an essence. There are actually some humectants in here that kind of help to plump up the skin and help to ease the aggression of the glycolic acid. And just so you know, with this percentage of glycolic acid in the Dr. Idriss mask or in this leave-on essence toner product from Prequel, you will get some little pinprick sensations. That is normal. That's not necessarily a sign that your skin is not accepting the product. It's just what comes with the territory of this percentage of glycolic acid. So if you put it on, you feel like just little like stinging pin pricks on application, that's normal. If it starts to burn, if your skin starts to warm up with contact and application, that is a sign that your skin is getting irritated or having a reaction to the formula, right? But just so you know, pinpricks are totally normal. But what I actually like about the leave-on application, as well as this jumbo size, is that it's so ideal for body application. Because it's affordable, because you get so much more product, I have been using this so much on the tops of my arms. I get texture, I get clogged pores on the tops of my arms. I use it for my chest. Not only do I sometimes get acne and congestion there, but I also get hyperpigmentation. So the glycolic acid actually helps to brighten that and fade that a lot faster than if I wasn't treating it. I also forgot to mention 15% of glycolic acid, especially long-term consistent use, can help to contribute to collagen stimulation. So it's actually also anti-aging as well. So I like to put it on my neck. I get congestion on my back. I also have a lot of uneven and dull skin on my back. And so the AHA is really helping to even that out and to brighten it up. So right after the shower, you know, your skin's already damp. You put on a little bit of this exfoliating toner essence product. It sinks into your skin really nicely, actually adds a little extra hydration. Top it off with moisturizer and you're good to go. And I can afford to do this. You know what I mean? I can afford to do this. I've been doing this now since August, right? So what, that's 3 months, and I'm just nearing the end of this bottle. And I'm telling you, I use it on my face. I use it on my chest, tops of my arms. I use it on my back. I use it sometimes on my feet now as well, just wherever I want to use it. I don't discriminate because the price tag is so low. So I'm curious, have you tried any of these products, the expensive ones, the inexpensive ones, or if you have your favorite recommendation for a more affordable skincare option? Let us all know in the comments, because we all need to save money these days, right? And if this video did help you out, please hit subscribe. Come join our skincare community, especially if you want to see some more skincare content from me just like this. I love you so much. I am so grateful for your support. I just want to encourage you to keep shining your light. I can't wait to see you in the next video.